Hey everybody, it's me, Will, and I want to talk tonight about the COVID-19 situation, particularly testing in the country and my experience with it. So, after I lost my job in the Keys, the Florida Keys, I ended up spending some time in Orlando at a friend's house. And I was just relaxing around there, going to Walmart here and there, and there's no mask requirement in Florida. So I wasn't wearing a mask, and I guess I wasn't thinking that I was being selfish because there wasn't really a requirement in place, and I don't know, we weren't where we are now, I guess, if that makes any sense with the virus. And so one day I'm standing there looking in the mirror, and my leg is shaking, like violently shaking, like Parkinson's kind of shake, or like you would shake if you're cold outside. If it's very cold and you shiver, my leg was doing that. Then I went to make dinner, and as I'm making dinner, I'm like shaking as I'm making dinner, and it's super weird. I was thinking, maybe it had something to do with anxiety, but I've never really had that type of experience with anxiety. So it's like something doesn't seem right. Sat down to eat dinner, and the next thing I know, I'm dripping in sweat. And it wasn't like hot food, it was just whatever, like, I think it was tacos or something. Anyway, I'm dripping in sweat to the point where my hair is completely wet, and I took like my paper towels that I had set out for dinner, and I'm like dabbing my head, and the paper towels are completely soaked. So, I'm still a little shaky, something's weird, and I'm like, maybe it's just anxiety. Sometimes it manifests itself in different ways. Sit down, playing some Madden, and I'm like I didn't lose my breath, but I was short of it. And every few minutes, like I'm doing that, and I'm feeling like I need to do that, and I'm like, holy shit, I have COVID. Like, this is the only thing that it could be. Just like that day, I was feeling super weird, and I felt at one point like I was just gonna keel over, like fall on the floor. And I didn't know, again, if it was anxiety or if something was really wrong with me, So I was like, I don't really know what to do here. I'm already kind of just sitting around. I guess I'm just gonna ride this out, but I wasn't even gonna get a test. And then I was like, you know what? I should probably go get tested and just see if I can figure this thing out. So I went to a website, and I believe that website, I think it was Quest Diagnostics, I'm not even completely sure. And it has you reserve a time and then fill in your information and accept it, whatever. So every time I did that, it would tell me my time wasn't available, and then I'd go back to the original screen, and the time that I was trying to select was still there. So I filled this form out, I don't know how many times, and it's like, you gotta select and then fill a form out, and I'm like rushing, I just realized that the site was broken. I did it so many times, and on multiple days, it wouldn't work. The other place, the place that does the drive-through testing at Walmart, I forget exactly what that company was called, but they require you to be a resident. So me not being a Florida resident, I wasn't eligible to get a test. Then the places that did drive-throughs were totally full. You can't really get appointments for any of that stuff. So I didn't really know what to do. So I just figured, okay, I'm gonna ride it out. Then I had to leave Orlando for whatever reason, and I stopped in Jacksonville for the night just because, I don't know, I drove 2 hours, I was beat. I was like, what, I'm just gonna go to Jacksonville. I stayed there. It was underwhelming, you can probably skip Jacksonville. And I saw that there was an open testing thing where there's no limitations, there's no appointments, it's just first come, first served over at the Jaguar Stadium. And I got up the next day. The testing started at 9. I left my room about 8:20ish. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go down there and see what's up. So I get down there, there's this little tent in the big parking lot, and each lane, one way and the other way, was completely stretched out, at least a mile of cars each way, and the back car of each queue had a cop cap in it, so they were already full before testing even started that day. So I wasn't getting tested. All right. I spent the next night in North Carolina South Carolina, Florence. Couldn't get a test there either. Then the next night I stayed in Virginia. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna head home to New Jersey, and when I get home, I'll get tested. So I got home to New Jersey and I found a clinic that would do it on a sliding scale, because contrary to what Trump says, it's not free. I mean, surprise, he lied. I was very surprised. I did call one urgent care, and including the test and the appointment, they wanted like $300. So Trump lied about the free testing. I mean, I'm stunned. Anyway, so I get the appointment to get my drive-through test done. And it was like, I think I made the appointment on like a Monday. I had to wait till a Friday. And I'm just, keep in mind, I'm sitting in a room alone. I live with my mom. I can't be near my mom because she's in her 60s. My father has terrible diabetes. Haven't seen him in months. Can't see him. Can't get around my nieces or nephews. I've been alone for weeks at this point. So the day of the test comes, and I drive out to get the test done. I'm 5 minutes from the test, and they call me and tell me that it's being rescheduled. And I mean, it was like 5 minits from getting tested. I was right around the corner. I'm like, you know, I just drove here, and they're like, oh, well, it's raining, and the person that administers the test called out. So I was like, all right, you know, so now what? And they're like, we're gonna reschedule you for Tuesday. So that was a Friday. So then I had to wait another 4 days. So I go and I get my test done. That was Tuesday, the last Tuesday. Today's Monday, so it was 6 days ago. And they tell me to go on the LabCorp website, enter my information, and that I will receive my test results in the website. So as of Friday, I still haven't received them. You know, I call the doctor, and it's like a answering machine kind of thing, and high call volume. Do you want us to call you back? Blah, blah, blah. So I did that, and then they never called me back. Today, I did the same thing. They didn't call me back earlier. Then I did it again later in the afternoon, and they did call me back, and they basically said, oh, we don't have your results. They're backed up. I was like, I'm sitting in a room. You know, I know it's not your fault, but like, I'm trying to do the right thing here, trying to be responsible. Came from Florida. It's a hot spot. I didn't feel right. I'm trying to do the right thing. You know, so basically they're just like, oh, keep checking LabCorp's website. So I'm stuck here in my room, quarantining still. Been in here since, this is like my 17th day in this room. And I don't even know what to say. But I do believe a large part of the reason I'm experiencing this is because of the lack of a national testing strategy, because our president is in denial. He's a narcissist, and he can't admit that he was wrong. And now he's at a point where he's shut off the CDC's ability to report the number of virus tests or viruses to us. So we're not even gonna know where it is, because he can't make it go away. So he's just gonna make it so that we can't see it, because they want to get the kids back to school. Because when the kids go back to school, the parents go back to work. The economy starts back up. And then once everybody's back to school and work, they can't vote by mail. Because the Republicans know the more people that vote, the more likely they are to lose. And voting by mail means more people are going to vote. So it just sucks. I mean, ultimately, I don't like Trump anyway, but when I feel I am personally affected by something he's doing or not doing, it feels a little worse. And it's strange when presidential politics directly affect you. So anyway, hopefully I'll get my results soon. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.